Hey everyone, I thought I'd come and talk to you today about the most important things you can do in college and university to get a leg up on everyone else, especially if you're a computer scientist. A lot of people say things like, you need to do leak code, you need to go and do internships, blah, blah, blah. Some of these are important, some of them are less so. More important, there is a rather an order to how important these things are. So the first thing I would say is to do core modules, and not just modules you think you'll pass. So sometimes we take classes or modules which are easier to get a high grade, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll look better in a job interview. I feel like someone who's done like Introduction to Python versus someone who's done something like functional programming and algorithmic trading, that person seems cooler. Even if their grades aren't as good, it's like, okay, you put yourself out there to try something new and different. University matters to a degree. Russell Group or Ivy League universities tend to have more sway in the job market. I wouldn't say it's mostly just like older companies sort of like that a bit more. Doesn't matter if you're not in one, can't really help it, can you? Well, I wouldn't suggest like switching universities just to go to a Russell Group one. I'd stay with whatever one you're at currently. Projects you build in your spare time is absolutely amazing, especially around new technologies or things you want to learn. Like if you want to learn Rust, for example, and you build a Rust project, that's great. Projects which are used by other people are even better because it shows like you can not only write code with a new technology, but your code is so like cool that other people want to use it. And I think that's like an absolutely like massive like top ranking sign for me that someone's a really great engineer, especially in like university days. For when you're in a job, it's a bit more awkward to write projects, but I found time in uni somehow. Leak code is cool. Everyone says do leak code, do leak code, do leak code. I've never used leak code in a job interview before. There was one, my current job wanted me to sort of work out which semantic version is higher in code. It wasn't really leak code, it was just like basic Python, you know, like you go through the numbers and then you see which one's bigger. It wasn't really that hard. Leak code like binary search trees and red-black trees and DFS, BFS. It's cool to learn about, but you're never going to use it realistically. Maybe a mega company like Google where shaving like 2 milliseconds off your code, if it's run like 5 million times an hour, will save lots of time, but you could always just learn it on the job. Giving talks is amazing too. Teaching others like blogs, YouTube videos, talks. Just go to your local computer society and say like, I want to give a talk about this, and they'll probably say yes. Teaching others is really shows that you care a lot and you want to uplift other engineers, and that's like a really important factor in a job, is to improve your team and not just the code base or the company. Capture the flags are also super cool to do, little competitions to see who's the best hacker. This only really applies if you're a cybersecurity person. I did some capture flags back in my day. Some of the more realistic ones were cooler, especially to talk about in jobs. Some of the fun ones are just funny stories I recounted in jobs sometimes, job interviews. Internships are really important too. I've never done an internship, but that doesn't mean it's not important, because it shows that you already work at a company, you've worked at a company, they've wanted to hire you. You could probably get a return offer quite easily, you know. In the words of my colleague, it's like life or death in some ways, where an internship, if you get it, would be so amazing to your future prospects. Now, having said all this, it doesn't mean do everything on this list. It does mean pick some things you think you want to focus on and really focus on them and get good. If I was you, I would do internships first, projects second, especially projects which are used by other people, and maybe pick cool modules in university or college because you do want to just do cool things and have fun, you know. You don't want to do boring things and be bored. If you're not in college or university, that's okay. You can always just work on projects. You can probably still get internships, to be honest with you. Maybe at some companies, they might not like you not going to college, but you don't know until you try. And giving talks too is something you can do without having a job or going to college. Especially, you could go apply to some like smaller conferences, just Google around for like web conferences or back-end conferences, and then be like my self-taught learning path for this. Meetup.com is great too, to find other places you can talk to or just network. Network is a horrible word because it implies like a transactional relationship. I much prefer just making friends, and then I find that's just my network, is just a bunch of friends. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope you do manage to land a job after college. Thank you.